everyone, and welcome to our Nice Thursday for October 19th. Once you are on here and finding me, please comment and tell me hello. And I am going to pull up my iPad here and make sure that I'm live in the right spot with all of you. There I am. All right, so hopefully some of you are able to join me live with my drenched hairdo look, because I got completely drenched walking to my car. Thank you, Claire. From work, because I didn't have my umbrella with me. So anyway, it is a rainy day here in Michigan today. So yeah, it was one of those days where I went into work and didn't know that it was supposed to rain and left work with no umbrella. So my hair is matted icky and I didn't have time to fix it. So this is how you guys get me tonight, with wet hair and everything. So anyway, hello to Shireen. I think Shireen's the first one in here commenting, saying hello. Hello to Courtney. So anyway, like I said, welcome from Michigan, a cold, rainy, icky, dreary day today. That I was actually in the office today, so I wasn't out and about, or here, I was out in my office, and I had no windows there, so I had no idea that it was raining until I went to leave my work and went, well, crap. And so I work at a university, and I have to park quite a ways away, so here I am. I got drenched. Anyway, but happy to be live with you. It's our time together on Thursday night. So again, welcome as you are starting to all come in. Hello to Peggy and Shireen. So welcome for our Touch Base Thursday for tonight. So tonight I'm going to be sharing with you a stamp set that I know a lot of you are interested in seeing what I've created. It's a beautiful stamp set, but can be a kind of a unique and hard stamp set to work with. And so I designed some beautiful cards with it. And this is actually one of my classes. It's open for registration right now for the month of October. October classes finally went out. I know, you guys, it was like October 10th when I finally had them open for registration. But I have been crazy busy with different events going on and things like that. And one day just led to another and to another and to another. And there's something else that I didn't do that Janet, if Janet watches live or replay, brought to my attention. I never had my husband or somebody or my boss, somebody, pick a winner for my September card challenge. So those of you that participate, I am sorry, that will still get announced. And she brought it to my attention at my event that she was at last weekend that she didn't see it on Facebook. And I made a note to look. I finally looked yesterday. And yep, sure enough, guess what? I didn't pick a winner from my card challenge. Oh, good, Vale, you found me. So anyway, I will still be doing that. Just so those of you that do that, if you're wondering, I thought I had scheduled a post to go out. Because on Facebook, we can schedule our posts in advance. And I thought I had done that, but I must not have. So anyway, I apologize, you guys. All right, so I have a few updates for you with my girls. So I'm going to start with my oldest, with Natalie. So some of you may know this. I'm not sure if I've advertised this widely yet on my Facebook Live, but I'm going to be doing it now. But Natalie applied for the Disney College internship program to work and spend a few months in Florida. And so she had her interview and she was offered an opportunity to go to Disney, and she accepted it. But not only that, so when you do that, you normally, like, you work in their restaurants, you work in their advertising, you work in their, whatever. But she wanted an opportunity. I'm not sure if I've announced here either that her and her boyfriend parted ways on good terms, but he's leaving CMU and going to school somewhere else. And they just decided that it was probably best for them to pursue the things that they wanted to do. So anyway, so that happened, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago now. And so anyway, she got accepted into this and she's beyond ecstatic. But here's the part that I did not share, and I'm now going to share. She actually went to Detroit. They do 4 or 5 different tryouts to actually be a character lookalike or to be a character performing arts person in Disney. And it's always been her dream to perform on a stage or to perform somewhere. My child loves Disney. Long story short, she went to one of the tryouts in Detroit. There's 5 of them. And so, true story, my husband took her last Thursday. And when they pulled up, she said, I don't know, Dad, maybe we should just go home, because she saw all these cards there from different states and things like that. So she got really uncomfortable, thinking I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I just want to go back home. And from my house to Detroit, it's about a 2.5-hour drive. So she was in a very elite area called Bloomfield Hills, a very elite dance studio, the whole 9 yards. Long story short, they narrowed the pool of about 40 people down to 15. Her number was called in that 15. They then narrowed that pool down to 8. Her number was called in that 8. They started doing videos of the performers, because they take those videos back. So no decisions were made yet, but they take those videos back to their Disney casting crew to look at them, review them. So anyway, from that 15, they narrowed it down to 8. She was in the 8. And then from the 8, they put them into 2 different categories. One for what they called advanced dance movement, and another one that I figured did something else for performing. And then the ones that were on the other end, they picked a few of them to actually go and get fitted for, like, take their measurements for costumes, for wigs, for all kinds of stuff. And so Natalie was in the advanced dance one, and all of a sudden the guy says, we have 2 people that are in the advanced dance movement that we also would like to send for measurements. And Natalie's number was called. So she has to wait until November 17th. But there's a very good possibility that my child might be a character lookalike in Disney, which might alter the dates that she's going to be going there. So it can be anywhere from January to August, and it's minimally 4 months, and it could be as much as 7 months to a year. So big news for my oldest child. But it took me a little bit to get on board with that, but exciting for Natalie. So that is my Natalie update. She is beyond stoked for the opportunity. So what they told her that would happen is they'll let her know, but she might be like one of the performers in the parades or in front of the castles and things like that. But anyway, yeah. So for this little girl who thought, I just want to go back home, she did great, and she made it all the way through. Told her it's a really good sign. They took her measurements. They also give, I know you guys, isn't that amazing? They also give precedence to those that are, or I guess should say priority, to those that are 4'8" to 5'2". And most of you know my daughters are very tiny and petite. Natalie's 4'11", Claire is 4'7". They're both done growing. So Natalie fit the bill all together. They had to dress a certain way. They wanted their hair a certain way, very neutral makeup so they could look at their face, the whole 9 yards. So anyway, that is so exciting. I'll keep you guys posted if we hear. But I told Natalie that if they took her measurements, she said it was like, she says, measurements I've never been measured for before in different places and different things, and, head circumference and the head, around this. She says all kinds of things. So anyway, that's my Natalie news. All right. So I know you guys, I am so excited for her. Those of you that know, she has danced her entire life. So for her to perform in Disney, she went with her dance studio and performed in Disney Springs a few years back, but this would truly be a dream come true for her. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted. That was the news that I didn't share with you last Thursday because I hadn't heard how the tryouts went yet. And my Claire news, if you hear her practicing here in a little bit, she's practicing really hard for her tryouts for the All-State Orchestra, the high school All-State Orchestra for the state of Michigan. She knows the competition is tough, though. There's like over 200 cellists competing is what she just found out. So I told her, kudos to you for even doing this. I think that's an awesome thing. And then the other thing that is exciting for us this weekend, so I think I shared on here a few weeks back that we lost, homecoming weekend, Claire lost her hedgehog Taffy that has been with us for like the last 6 years. And Taffy was our star with Dr. Pohl, and it was kind of like, we call it our family favorite hedgehog. It was the most genuine, personable one. It hit us all a little bit hard when she passed. Well, Claire's birthday is November 9th, and for her birthday, she asked for a baby hedgehog. And so we go on Sunday to get a new hedgehog for her. It will be our second baby one for her because we've been like a refugee taking in people's hedgehogs. So my girls only each had one baby, but Oh, Mary, I'm sure you'll hear her play. I think that's what she's getting ready to do. But anyway, so yeah, so we're getting this little baby girl hedgehog that was just born, I don't know, a few weeks ago. So if Claire's here next Thursday night, I will make sure, oh, I should tell you guys, I won't be live with you next Thursday night because it's her orchestra concert. But I'll make sure you guys get to see this adorable little baby that we are picking up over on the west side of the state. So if Carol, if you're watching, I'm not sure if I'm going to be close to you, but it's in Ada. We're going to Ada, Michigan to pick up our hedgehog from a breeder of hedgehogs over on the west side of the state. So those are my updates with my girls. Never a dull moment with those two, let me tell you. But anyway, very, very exciting news and excited for opportunities. And like I told Natalie, this might delay her. So it is an internship for her through college. She'll get some college credit. It might delay her a little bit getting her through her program. But I'm like, girl, you got to do some of these things while you're young and while you have a chance. And she did it all on her own, applied, interviewed, the whole 9 yards. So I mean, it was a process. And if you do the research, about 20% of the people who apply actually get into the program. And then on top of it, for her to want to be try out for the character lookalikes or the performing arts characters, I was pretty impressed with her for that. So anyway, so there's my updates. All right, now I see that Kay posted on here as well. So I have some more hellos. I see Kay, Cindy, thank you guys. I'll make sure that Natalie sees all of your amazing comments because I know that's going to help her stay inspired. And here's the thing, even if she doesn't get a character role, she will still be offered a role there and will be there for a minimum of 4 months. So again, still opportunities for her, and I'm going to miss her like crazy, but I'm thinking that it's just, why not? Go and see and do and all those things while you're young. Okay, so as Kay mentioned, if you share my video, you get into my drawing, and we have a couple prizes to give away from last week. So we had the Starry Sky ribbon and the ribbon duo pack, and I have 2 winners. So the winner of the Starry Sky ribbon is Carol Grove. So congratulations to Carol. Carol, that'll get out for you. And then the winner of the Ribbon Duo Combo Pack is Marianne McGinnis. So congratulations to Marianne and to Carol. Yay! Okay, up for grabs this week, we have the adhesive-backed solid gems and a bolt of the Simply Elegant trim. This is perfect timing to make some Christmas ornaments that you can use it for the little tag toppers or anything like that. So anyway, those are the 2 prizes up for grabs next week. Okay, a few other things I have in the way of announcements before we get started. So anyway, I just want to say thanks you guys for letting me share my children's adventures and all that awesome stuff with you. So I appreciate it. Like I said, Claire's got an orchestra concert next Thursday night. So I will not be able to be live with you on Thursday night. I'm going to look at my calendar and try to do it on Wednesday if I can. If not, you will have a pre-recorded video, and it will be an online Facebook exclusive class that I offer every so often. If you purchased my Kirby Occasions class, that will be going out tomorrow. So just so you know, I was waiting patiently, not so patiently, for all the product to get here for that. Okay, so you will still have a video. I'm hoping I can make it for being I hope I can make it to be live with you. I know that you all feel like family, and I love that. So some of you who have been with me for so long actually have kind of grown with my kids and seen them kind of grow and all that awesome stuff. So anyway, but yeah, so I will definitely have a video for you. Don't know if it'll be a live video or if it'll be a pre-recorded. I'll let you guys know. Next week is kind of crazy. I also have at the end of the week my team retreat. So I'll be getting ready for all of that and packing up for all of that and things like that. So anyway, but you will have some kind of a video for your inspiration, whether it's me live Wednesday or a pre-recorded Thursday. I'll make sure and post it so you guys know that. All right, October classes that are open. So last week I showcased my Fruitful Blessings class. That class is open. Any idea if when the autumn paper is going to come back? Oh, Courtney, I wish I knew the answer to that. So let me give you an update on the autumn paper, because I looked today for another customer. So that autumn paper came back about a week and a half ago. It lasted for like 6 hours, literally 6 hours. And I knew it was going fast because I saw it go from being available to low inventory in a matter of a couple hours. And so I was able to at least secure the paper I needed for a few of my customers, but it was gone before I could even get all of the orders in that I had. So I've got like 5 or 6 people that are waiting for different components and pieces, and I keep good track of that. That paper is slated now to come back the week of October 30th. Okay, that is the estimated date that we can see on our, so Stampin' Up! Provides for us as demonstrators an inventory status report, and that is the date that that paper is due to come back. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it comes back. I will be stalking that the best I can from work and looking at it to see if the item number is available. Now I'm going to tell you guys a little tip and trick that I've learned. Sometimes that item code gets turned on before they even have an opportunity to advertise that it's back. So that was how I found out that it was back. I actually tried to do an online order, enter the item number, and it actually took it. And I was like, oh my goodness, they hadn't updated the date in their system yet. Because sometimes that's a little bit delayed. It's how technology works. Sometimes they can update it, but it doesn't go live until the system does like a reboot every 2 or 3 hours or something like that. So make sure you check on that, because there are times that stuff is available a few hours before it's actually available, to where a lot of demonstrators will see it and start getting it out there that it's available again. I will tell you, if any of you want the autumn paper, please let me know, because what I will try to do is, if I see it's available, I will order it and I will just ship it to me, and I can ship it out, and we can try our best to then figure. So like I said, if you want it, I do need to know. I can't just order it and then, you know, I need to have quantities, because Stampin' Up! Really likes us to make sure that we we don't cash and carry, that kind of stuff. But if I know people want it, I'd be happy to order it for you. And that way it might just be easier than trying to get out there. So anyway, let me know, any of you that do, and I'll do the best I can. I've been stalking that paper myself as well. So I can tell you that I have a few people that I do know were able to nab it and get it, and I was able to get it for at least a few of my customers that were patiently waiting as well. So yeah, I see Tammy just commented. So yes, feel free to, like I said, let me know, and I will do the best I can, because it's gonna be easier for me to nab 8 packs or whatever I might need than for me to reach out to all of you individually and say, hey, it's available, and you might not get it. So anyway, that's the best I got on that paper. I know it's frustrating. Yeah, whew, but it is due to come back. It's not unorderable yet. So we will hopefully be able to secure some more of that. All right. And yes, I see Vale's comment as well. So I will do my best. Okay. Anyway, so October classes, like I mentioned, that Fruitful Blessings class is open. What you're going to be seeing tonight is one of my October classes, and then I have my Sending Cheer, which is it's my beautiful gingerbread class that's out there as well. Last night was my online bingo event, and we had Vale join us for the very first time. And I would love to even get more of you interested in doing my online bingo and fun night, I call it. It's really cool. It's really simple. It's really stress-free. I do it over a Facebook Live in a separate group. It's not part of this group, but I get you into that group, and we play bingo. We do make and takes. You get an embellishment that you'll use on your make and takes. All shipping, everything. It's $38. All my prizes are bundles, so it's really a good deal. And I'm going to start opening that event up for people to actually do it here in my basement as well. So I can be live here. I've got room for about 8 people to be able to be here to do it live with me. So I'm going to try to hopefully get that out there a little bit. It's a really fun event. Philomena does it every single month. She loves it too. Trying to think who else might be on. So Philomena, I'm glad you commented. It is fun, and I do it very stress-free. I don't do it over Zoom. I do it, like I said, right here in a Facebook group. You see me just the way you do here. I hold up my bingo cards. They're actually still sitting out from last night, and then you just comment bingo. We verify the bingo. I mean, we got a process, and it works really great. So I'd love to have a few more of you do that. November 15th is my next one, and it's deer hunting day. So if you're a deer hunting widow, any of your hunters out there, consider joining us for that night. It's a fun night. Lasts about an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, depending on if I go way too fast doing the make and takes. I got to try to slow that down a little bit. But anyway, Courtney's done it before. Yes, Vale is already signed up again. So anyway, that is the date. And then the date in December will be the second Wednesday of the month. I move everything up in December, so we all have time to enjoy the holidays and all the festivities that go along with that. And then this month, my BB Club card kits will be going out next week. or not next week. I think it's the beginning of the following week. I decided to postpone it because I know I won't be able to get everything done because of my team retreat. But you'll have them no later than in your mailbox by like November 1st, November 2nd, and it's October's kit, so it'll still work. It's Christmas cards. You'll have plenty of time to get those all done. I do have about 2 kits left from that, from what we are cutting and prepping. So if any of you want in on that, I use the Night Divine bundle. So they're the beautiful Christmas cards. And I was able to secure the stars and the navy ribbon. So if you really want the stars and the navy ribbon, that kit is going to include those products in it. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And if you want more information about my BB, I have a couple different clubs. So my BB monthly club is a set bundle that I provide, kind of like my own little paper pumpkin. And then these other classes I do a little bit differently with my classes. So anyway, but like I said, I do have that available. So okay. So with that, the join promotion, I can't let the night go by without mentioning the join promotion. I know I've got calls and, yes, Tammy, so you're going to be getting the Night Divine for club. But the join promotion is phenomenal. And I know that I've reached out to some of you personally who order from me because it's a great opportunity and a great deal. The 35% more or the 35% less. So depending on what your budget is, there's a good opportunity there for you to be able to join. The neat thing is if you join, you can get your hands on right now some of our online exclusives, and you are automatically signed up for Onstage. And you can right away purchase the B bundle. So right now there's a cute B bundle that I'm sure you've seen some demonstrators using. I have it. I had not had a chance to play with it yet. But it's coming out in our new mini catalog that starts in January. But it's something you'd be able to order right away if you do the join promotion as well. So just wanted to throw all that out there. If you want more information, let me know. I do have a goal to try to get about 10 people to take advantage of this deal. So I'm not at my goal yet, so I'd love to kind of talk to some of you if you might be interested in that. It's a risk-free kit, no obligation to do anything further. You never have to do a Facebook Live like me. You can just put orders in and enjoy the Stampin' Up! Discount. But there are different things that you can also do as part of the team. There are certain classes and events that you can buy online that I only offer my team. So there are some team perks involved in being part of my, I call it my amazing group. So all of you that are watching, woo, woo. Okay. So with that, I think that is everything that I wanted to mention to you. I'm going to transition my camera down to my stamp area. I'm actually going to show you a couple of online exclusives that I was able to pre-order. I didn't get the whole bundle with all of there's some really pretty like springtime paper out there. I didn't get all that because budget, I don't like that word, but I did get one of the bundles and some glimmer paper that I want to show you because it's really, really pretty. And then we'll start with the presentation of things I want to share with you tonight. So let me transition my camera down to my stamp area and we will get started. Okay. So this is the awesome bundle or the awesome stamp set that I'm going to be showcasing tonight. Okay, so this one, it wasn't the easiest to work with, I'm not going to lie. So when I posted out there that I was working with it and a lot of you were interested, I was like, yeah, because it was not easy. I'm going to cover more up. It wasn't the easiest to work with, but it was really, really fun. And let me move my speaker out of the way because I no longer need my speaker. All right. Whew, got to get situated here. Okay, so before we get into all of this, I'm going to scoop it all up so you guys can't see hardly any of it. And I'm going to move it off to the side. Okay, and what I want to show you first is some online exclusives that I was able to get. So these are what you will be able to order in November, I think it's 7th. It's on pre-order right now. Now here's the neat thing. You would be able to add this to your starter kit purchase. So if there's any of the online exclusives that you want, you could get. So this is the Fluffiest Friends, and I couldn't resist getting this. Look how cute this bundle is. And then it has the coordinating dies that go with it. So this is, like I said, the bundle that I got from the online exclusives pre-order that demonstrators were able to get. And then the dies have all of the little pieces and parts to be able to cut out all of these pieces. You get a beehive. Now, I have seen some people doing some really fun things with this bundle with the bee paper that I will showcase the bee paper for you guys at another time because I don't have it handy here right now. But this is a really neat bundle, cute set. And then then there's also some glimmer paper that's going to be coming out, and I did get the glimmer paper in advance, so I will show you guys that here next. So the glimmer paper, it comes in 3 different colors. It all comes together. You have Highland Heather. So where's my purple people? I think Shireen's a purple person. Where's Carol Grove? She's a purple person. Pretty Peacock. And then it also comes in, oh, what is this one? Petal Pink. Okay, so those are the 3 colors. And you get, yeah, there's Carol. She is there. And you get 2 pieces of all of each one of these colors. So this is the glimmer paper, and it's very pretty. Courtney's my purple person too. So let me put the purple on the top because the purple is just gorgeous. Okay, so that's also going to be an online exclusive that will be available here beginning in about another month or so. Okay, all right. So with that, let me show you what I chose to use tonight. So I have been talking about these deckled circles for a while, and I really like the deckled circles. If you don't have these yet, you're going to want to add them to your collection. There are so many. I think you get 14 different pieces to go with these deckled circles. And then I paired it with the, man, and I have made a mess of all my cards the way I picked everything up. I paired it with my Cheers to the Season stamp set. Okay, now like I said, the stamp set was not the easiest to work with as I started playing with it, because again, there's no dies that coordinate with it. So you have to fussy cut or you have to stamp directly onto something. But I paired it with the dies because I found a sample in the catalog where Stampin' Up's artists had used it with these dies. So anyway, the one thing I do like about this stamp set is that it does have a little bit of images for everything. So in here you have, you can make Christmas cards, you can make fall cards, you can make New Year's cards. So again, it gives you a little bit of everything to be able to create cards with. Has a little backdrop splash, so if you wanted to put that behind one of the cards, you're going to see how I actually used that here tonight. Now, what I did pair this with is I also paired it with the Tartan Foiled Designer Series paper. Now, this paper, I don't have any packs here to show you because what I had is actually, Jen is cutting for this class right now. But this is what the paper looks like. So on one side, you have 3 different colors. You have Pebbled Path, you have Copper Clay, and then you have the Lost Lagoon. Let me pull in a Lost Lagoon one. So I'm actually pulling this from some of my cards here. But on one side of it, you have this beautiful like foil gingham pattern. Then on the other side, you have this more pattern that's I got more of the white colors, and then it's kind of like the opposite with a little bit of the color. I find myself gravitating to this. Shelby, yes, since you're a demonstrator, you can still get that paper, that glitter paper, and that's the neat thing. Any of you want to take advantage of the join promotion, you can get that glitter paper now. But that glimmer paper is available if you're a demonstrator. If not, it will be part of the online exclusives beginning November 7th. And then it will be open for everyone to purchase. So these are the papers that I chose to use. And I thought right away when I saw this, I thought Copper Clay for fall, right? And I thought, okay, blue could be either Christmas or what I call New Year. And then this one's just a good neutral to use with any of them. So that is why I chose to pair this paper with it. Now this paper is on a special release, so it's only available while supplies last. It is not on low inventory or anything like that, but if you like this paper after seeing tonight's presentation, do encourage you to order it sooner than later because it's not guaranteed to be available the full duration of the holiday catalog, okay? So with that, let me start with my first card for tonight. So this is the first card that I created, and I made it a fall themed card. Okay, and the other products that I chose to pair with this, I used, now this ribbon, I'm going to tell you, if any of you have used this ribbon, it is a gorgeous ribbon, but it is a ribbon that is a bugger to get to stick. I have tried glue dots, I have used seal. I find that I have to use both to get this ribbon to stick. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's just, I think the sheerness of it makes it kind of pull apart or pull away from being glued. Liquid glue would probably work, but it would be really, really messy. I also paired or used my embellishment for the night or the cards. I used the festive pearls, and these pearls are great because you get a little bit of all these different colors so that you can then use them for that, okay? All right, so let's work on this card together. So again, I used the little copper piece here, and so that might work, Tammy. I didn't try that. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold my card base in half. This is the card base, and then because I like to keep my colors all consistent, I brought in a layer of 5 1/4 by 4 of the Pebbled Path. And then I brought in for these cards I used, or this one anyway, I chose, for my fall cards, I always like to use the Very Vanilla. To me, it just gives it a more rich look and just pairs so much nicer with all of the leaves and things like that. And then I used this is an embossing folder from the Basics embossing folders that were part of online exclusives a while ago, and they are still available. It's where you get 3 of them for $30. And I think they were still available last I looked. So I just glued those 2 together, and then I have a little strip. This is a 1.5 inch strip by 5 of the paper, and this is again why I used the opposite side. So I didn't use white, so I wanted to keep with Very Vanilla. Okay, so here's the ribbon. So, and Carol gave us a comment, Scotch tape on the back side. Oh, that would work too. So I'm going to show you what I ended up doing. I ended up doing double. I ended up using my seal, and I ended up using glue dots. So what I have found is it pops after a while. So it doesn't pop on you right away. It just tries to pop on you after a while. And so I think I mentioned to you guys a while ago, I send out a ton of Christmas cards. So I make over 300 Christmas cards. Yes, 300. One design goes to all of my customers. One design goes to my team, and one design goes to what I call my family and personal friends. And I make all together with those 3 categories, I make about 300 cards. I send out about 80 personally. My team is about 60 to 80 depending, and then I have my customers. So customer cards are done. I am working on, so there you can see I kind of have it doubled, and that's the way I've gotten it to work. So if you're struggling, but again, I thank all of you out there that have given other suggestions. Oops, and I'm out of adhesive. I may have to go. Oh, I have another one. Woo! Woo! Okay. So anyway, that is what I did. And this one I had the ribbon down the center. Well, we put it down the center of this paper, but here I put it down the center there. So I guess I should pay attention and not talk as much, right? All right, so then what I did is those deckled circles, I'm telling you, they're my favorite. I am cut out 2 of them, one with the copper clay, one with a Very Vanilla. I ran this Very Vanilla through the embossing folder, the same one, so it would kind of match. Okay, so we're just gonna adhere those 2 together. Oops, why am I still using that? Let me grab my other one. That's awesome, Lori. I know, I love sending, and I already actually bought my first round of postage. Otherwise, I go in debt with postage. So I buy a little bit for the like 3 months leading up to Christmas. So I have all my postage bought in time. I know it's silly, but it's what I do. Okay, so let me bring in, and I'm going to use up some of these little dimensional ends because I got like 3 ends sitting here. So I'm just going to put these on with dimensionals. Now, if you look at this leaf, it looks like it's not stamped the best, but it is. That is part of the stamp set. It is one of those distinctive stamp sets. So if you look at it, it is designed to have some imperfections in it. So you can see here, like even the cheers right here has got different shading in it. So when you see this stamped, that is how it's supposed to be. So I don't want you thinking that you stamped it wrong. It took me a little bit to be like, oh, it's supposed to be that way. All right, then what I did is on a piece of just scrap of my Very Vanilla, I stamped out the So Thankful. And this, I did do some fussy cutting. Now you wouldn't have to do that. If you wanted to make this card and not have to fussy cut, you could just stamp directly on this circle and then just have the stamp not have that embossed. Okay, so you don't have to do the fussy cutting if you don't want to. I wanted to add the extra layer, and I wanted to add the extra little embossing touch there. Okay, so you can still do without having to do all this fussy cutting. But and sometimes I wonder why Stampin' Up doesn't have dies for all of their stamp sets. Like this one would definitely have been a good one, I think, to have die cuts for, but what do I know? I wonder if some of them are just harder to do that with. So we're just gonna, like I said, fussy cut this out. I'm a pretty fast fussy cutter, and I don't mind fussy cutting. A lot of it's just guiding the paper around. Shoop, there we go. Okay, so there is my design, all fussy cut. Hello to Nancy. And then that's going to go on with some dimensionals here as well. So I'm just going to add maybe 2 or 3 here to this. And again, I'm going to use up some of my edges. So I hope that all of you do that as well, because it's wasteful if we don't use those edges up. Val, I've been cutting for a while, my dear. All right, so there it is. So Thankful. All right, final thing we're going to do, we're going to use my Take Your Pick tool. If you don't have one of these yet, it's an awesome tool. And it took me a while to get used to it. Now that I can't live without it. And we are going to add, otherwise these little embellishments like to stick to my acrylic nails. So, and actually I'm letting my acrylic nails, I let them get a little bit longer. I don't know if I'll be able to keep them that way, but they're a little bit longer. And I don't know if you guys can tell, they look like they're black, but they're not. They're black on the bottom. This is as spooky as I get for Halloween. But can you guys see the purple tips? They're like an ombre into purple. Maybe you can see the thumb. I think the thumbprint there you guys can see pretty good. But it kind of ombres into purple. Yeah, I know, right? So not me. So when I got my nails done this week, literally, his name is Fong. I know I tell Fong, I talk about him all the time on my Facebook Lives, and he just laughs at me. When I went in there and told him what I wanted, because I told him that that's what I wanted, he said, "Are you sure?" And I went, "Yeah, I'm sure." He goes, "You never get black. You never do dark like that." And I went, "Yeah, it's Halloween. I want black. And then I want purple on the ends." "Are you sure?" Like 3 times he asked me. It was comical. I finally went, "Yes, trust me, it's what I want." He went, "Okay." Anyway, all right, you guys ready for the next card? So the next one I'm going to showcase is, actually, I'm going to stick with fall. I'm not going to do them the order in which they're in my thing. I'm going to do them the order in which they happen in our seasons. So let's do another fall card together. So this time I used this, so you can see this ribbon's falling a little funky, but here's this card right here, again, where I used some more of that beautiful designer series paper. We're using the exact same 3 colors that are part of that, tartan, I don't know how to pronounce that, designer series paper. So for this one, and you can see this one, I did not cut that out. I did not fussy cut. That is stamped directly on that deckled circle. So for this one, I used the Pebbled Path for my card base, followed by a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the Lost Lagoon, embossed with that same embossing folder, and that is all done by default, you guys. So all of my products coordinate so that if you decide you want to purchase things to make these cards, you don't have to buy 5 embossing folders, you don't have to buy 5 packs of paper, you don't have to buy 5 bolts of ribbon. It's the same ribbon, same embellishment, same embossing folder, same stamp set, okay? Most of you know that about me though, so that's kind of why I do it that way, so that you can easily duplicate these cards and not break the bank doing it, okay? So then you're going to have a piece of 4 by 3. Let me get that out of the way. It's coming rolling at me. 4 by 3 of the designer series paper, adhering onto a 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, so 1/4 inch bigger of the paper. And then we are going to, I added ribbon on here in 2 different spots. So we're going to add it right around the middle of my mat. So I'm just going to cut it big enough. Again, I'm going to use double glue dots, and I'm going to use the seal. Like I said, I found one of my my card for my team was working on over the weekend, and I found that this was the best way. I used this ribbon on their card, and I found this was the best way to secure it. So, Anyway, all right, so we're going to just adhere this down, wrap it around. Again, other suggestions were to use Scotch tape, which I'm sure that works wonderful. Tammy also said double-sided tape. I'm sure that works. I was only using with the stuff that I had in my basement, which is all of my wonderful Stampin' Up stuff, and found, like I said, that those two together seem to do the trick for me. Okay, then we're also going to put some on the top around here. So for that, we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to cut it long enough to wrap it around. And I'm going to add some adhesive up here to the top. And I'm going to add some glue dots onto it. So a glue dot on each corner. Thank you, Philomena. And on this one, again, I wanted to stick with the colors that kind of coordinated with that designer series paper, the foil paper that I used. So I'm going to wrap that around. And then I did adhere, and I found also by pushing those glue dots down really good, it helped it stay in place too. So now we're going to add dimensionals to the four corners of this. So I'm just going to add my dimensionals in, even if they're the backs. Hi, Kathy, Kit. I just saw Kathy come through and I've never called you. Kit is one of my team members, so I get to see her regularly, and she goes by Kit, and I called her Kathy because I just seen her name pop in. I hope she's chuckling at me. All right, then we're gonna cut a little piece to go underneath here like this, and we're just gonna wrap this around up here. Voila. Isn't that double ribbon kind of pretty? I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are, Kit. I was like, oh my goodness, the minute I did it. Okay, so then again with that awesome deckled circle, right? And this is where you can see I used the little splash here on the bottom just to add a little bit of color to tie in our Lost Lagoon piece. I stamped that in Lost Lagoon, and then I stamped the Oh So Thankful in the copper clay. Okay, love the copper clay for fall. That has become my favorite for the fall. And then I just adhered this directly down to my card and added some of those awesome festive pearls. So the sample I have here, I added some gold. You can see I must really be partial to the gold because I'm almost out. So we're going to add some silver to it. I added a couple, and I use these pretty freely just to kind of, you know, bring it in. So I mentioned to you guys our busy, crazy week next week. In addition to that, Claire's doing driver's training segment 2 every single night. So yeah, let's just see what we can all fit in one night. Vale, this is called the Take Your Pick tool, and I love it. So I should probably talk about it. This is a little putty end, and we actually sell putty refills. And a little of this goes a long way. It actually helps pick up the stuff. This screws out, and then you can replace your tip. We sell these tips separately, okay? And then on the other end is interchangeable. Right now I have my little pick, like to pick things out of for dies, but there are other ends that you can put in here and it can be interchangeable. So this was also a take your pick tool that I use different heads for. So this is the embossing or the brush to, if you want to brush it to get stuff out when you're using, cutting your dies. This could also be used to kind of move things and put it in place, your little spatula side. So I have both of these sitting here, but I find myself gravitating to using the take your pick part, or the putty part, and this little to pick out, you know, the pieces that get stuck in your dies. So it's wonderful. And these just pull out and come out and you can interchange them. So, well, here you go. There's the other side of that one. So, and there's all kinds of different accessories for your take your pick. So, you know, you might want to even, like I said, I have a couple of them. And it locks in place then. So I've got a couple of them so that I can kind of leave them the way I want them. But they're in our annual catalog, in with all the accessories and things like that. Definitely a great tool to have in your toolkit. Okay, so there is my second card. One done with the gold, one done with the silver. I know, right? Really pretty. Okay. So moving right along, our next, based on what I have here, is Christmas. So let me bring in this one right here. Look how pretty this is. Isn't that gorgeous? So a little tip of the trick here on this, what I did with this card. So for this one, I chose to use the pretty Pebbled Path designer paper from that tartan foil. And I paired it with real red because you can't go wrong with real red, right? So I'm just going to fold my card base and then I'm going to move it out of the way. Thanks, you guys. And then we're just going to do some layering here, some simple layering. So I brought in the Granny Apple Green because, you know, I love that color for Christmas. This is cut, I believe, 4 by probably, I'm going to guess 5. And then I have a 4x4 piece of the Very Vanilla, or maybe it's a little bit smaller. It's basically going to be the same size going across, so it's 4, but it's 1/4 of an inch shorter. So you just had that little bit of Granny Apple Green piece coming out the top and the bottom, okay? So we're going to adhere this down to the card like that. And then we're going to add that amazing ribbon around it. So again, we're going to do it both ways, the same way. Hoping I have enough adhesive on that one to last for my live. If not, you guys are going to have to let me take a break and go get it. That is the one thing that's been a little bit of an adjustment for me, because normally I have Natalie here to help me push me live to get me going. And now that she's in her apartment, but I have Claire. So Claire usually is done with her cello lesson by 6:30. So she ran down tonight to help me. Otherwise, it would be going and I would just run around to the other side. But anyway, I said, Claire, you get to help me tonight. She's like, okay. All right. And she's not practicing yet. So if you guys, she's probably thinking maybe she shouldn't since I'm doing my live. Although I know a lot of you would love to hear her. But yeah, so she just got done with her lesson. So she might be giving herself a little break. So I'm not sure why, but our school district has no school today, tomorrow, and Monday. So luckily she's got lots of time to be able to practice tomorrow before she goes on Saturday for her audition. So my husband will be taking her to Bay City Western High School for that. All right, so here's what I did with this one. Again, deckled circles were my friend for these cards, okay? So if you don't have the deckled circles yet, you want to get them. What I did in advance, again, because I just don't like to have the mess with all the ink sometimes when I do my lives, I stamped with the Granny Apple Green, the beautiful 'Tis the Season stamp set, okay? And so that is just going to get adhered down to the side using some dimensionals, okay? So let me bring in, I have to cut my dimensionals up here again. Okay, so I'm just going to add a couple of these on here like that, and that's going to get adhered on here like that. And then you're probably saying, well, how did you get the little red pieces on there? Yep, you guessed it, we fussy cut. So I stamped it again on a piece of scrap in real red ink. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out those pieces that I want to add onto the card. So I'm just going to cut right around the circle. I'm not going to worry about the little tag topper on this ornament because I'm going to use it from the green piece behind it. So I'm just cutting this in a circle. And you can see I'm leaving a little bit of the edge, so it kind of helps define it. Let me get that out of there. So we're just going to cut this around. And then that's going to get put on top of there. Isn't this clever? I know. And then we're going to do this other ornament. And the same thing. I only cut out the actual ornament part. I did not do the topper because we're going to let the green be the topper part for that, okay? So I'm just going to cut around this and put that there. And last but not least, we're going to do the Tis one. 'Tis the Season. And again, we're just going to cut around this. And I just cut the top of it off. I let the hanger be on the green part. If you really wanted to, though, you could do it the other way. And I just cut this right in a circle. Okay? Then we can now add dimensionals to this. And we can add those to our card. Neat little way, and you could do this in many different colors. So I did mine in the traditional, you know, Christmas colors. But you could do them in any colors that you would like. You could actually get quite creative with your stamping. Okay, so dimensionals are on those, and then I'm just going to add these right on top. You want to kind of line up your lines a little bit if you can. And 'tis the season. There we go. And the word the. What do you guys think? Isn't that kind of cool? I know. Paper piecing or whatever it's called. Okay. So from there, oh, I didn't add my little bow through there, a little tie on. And you got to do that right on that end because you don't have a lot of space here. So we're just going to put this one underneath here like that. I'm going to tie it on, and then we are good to adhere this down to my card base. And trim off the ends at an angle, and voila. Bring back in my card base. And can you guys see those beautiful festive pearls? I used the red from them, and look how that made it just pop. You see how freely I used those red festive pearls? So we're going to do the same thing, and I'm just going to add them. So yeah, you can see how easy, Veil, this tool is to use. It just picks them right up. I find that if I slide it a little bit, it just brings, because there's adhesive behind them, so you want the adhesive to come with it. So if you just kind of slide it a little bit, it picks them right up. And voila, you can add as many of those as you want, and it just kind of adds to that card, doesn't it? Okay, so I know I only have about 10 minutes left for my live, so this next card I'm just going to show you because it kind of follows the same concept. That way we have time to finish the last one. So I followed the exact same concept here with this card, but this one I did not use any of the designer series paper. So for this one, I used the Granny Apple Green with the real red, 5 1/4 by 4. Basic white I used on this for the 5 by 3 3/4. Used a little bit, used the exact same size of the deckled circle here. Used a real red behind it. Used that ribbon to actually make a bow. This one I added some of the silver to bring in the silver from this beautiful ribbon, but you could also have added red to that and made it pop as well. So again, 2 different variations of that stamp using the same one, same concept, just in a little bit of a different way. Okay, so that was that card. Okay, so now we're going to move on to my last card. So the last stamp in this stamp set is this Cheers, and that reminds me of, you guessed it, New Year's Eve, or whatever, okay? I actually have a cousin who does not send Christmas cards. She actually sends New Year cards. So I actually reached out to her to say, hey, we have a stamp set or 2 that you might want. And I think she's thinking about doing it. So she is a school teacher, and she says that she doesn't have time to do her cards. So her Christmas cards, she actually makes them during her Christmas break. And so anyway, this is what I designed for my little card for my New Year card. Okay. So this one, I used the basic white, and you can see I used the Lost Lagoon for the foil on this one. So this one I used 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the Pebbled Path and a 5 by 3 3/4 piece of that designer series paper. And we're just going to adhere these together. And I tried to use the back side of that designer series paper right here. Did I not cut that? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I got creative here because I didn't have a lot of this scrap left over. So what I did is I have a little piece here, and you're going to see me use it in a very strategic way. So what I did is I just am going to put a little piece, because you don't see a lot of this. So just kind of eyeball the center of it and make sure your pieces that are straight. Let me get the card base out of here. And I just kind of adhered this down to the card like this, because no one's going to be able to see the center, right? We're putting those circles down. So then I cut out 2 of the circles. Again, I embossed the one with that same embossing folder, and that's going to get adhered down right to the center. So that's how you can also save paper. You don't have to have it go all the way through because no one's going to see it. and I'm going to adhere these two together, and then this whole piece got put on with dimensionals. So I'm going to use the last two. Yay, I got rid of a sheet. But look at this. I have another sheet here. I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. And then we're going to adhere that down with dimensionals. Right down to the center. Oh, ribbon. Ribbon first. Okay, so then I put ribbon right across the center of this as well. And I'm going to do my same trick with that ribbon and double adhere it with glue dots and glue dots and the glue dots and the regular seal. There it is. And then I'm going to just adhere this down, wrap it around, make sure it adheres good. And now we're good to adhere this down to the card base. And now we're good to adhere this down to the bottom. And you can see I wrapped some ribbon around the top up there. So we're going to do that again. And then, yep, I did fussy cut the cheers. And that does stamp how you see it. That's one of those that I wanted to, that was the one where I was struggling. I'm like, that doesn't look right. And it's right. It is how it's supposed to be. So we're just going to cut that kind of tight there. Cut that at an angle. You can move them off to the side if you want. And then here is my cheers. So this is stamped using the Lost Lagoon. And like I said, that's going to be imperfect right there. It's how the stamp set is designed. So we are going to fussy cut this out as well. So I'm just going to kind of cut this out, go around. So yeah, if you're not a big fussy cutter, the stamp set might not be your best friend unless you're going to use it how I did, where I stamped directly onto a piece, okay? So that is going to be the best way that you're going to be able to use that. This is going to go on with some dimensionals as well. So let me bring in my little pieces here, because these are cut nice and narrow. That will work perfectly. Then that will go on to the card. And then again, why I chose those awesome festive pearls is because you got some on here that actually look like they're almost blue, which went with this perfectly. So again, we're just going to add some of these sporadically around the card. You could add a couple down here if you wanted to, however you want, wherever you want. And there you have it. A beautiful card for the new year. So let me bring in all of my cards that I showcased for you tonight. And like I said, these two are kind of similar, but in different ways in which you can use them to kind of pop that with the color behind it. And oh, where's my other card? So here we go. And then there's this other fall card. And then the other first card that I did, which was this one right here. Sorry, there's no 3D project tonight because I just didn't have the time to do that. But anyway, I hope this gave you guys some inspiration for doing and using the awesome Cheers to the Season stamp set. Now, if any of you are interested in receiving 3 of these cards already made and sent to you in the mail, you guys know the drill. You just put in a $35 minimum order, and then I will send you 3 finished cards already done for you to be able to have to send out and however you want to use them. So anyway, again, if you don't have the stamp set, at least really consider getting those dies. You will not go wrong with getting these deckled circle dies. I have been using them a ton, and they're so easy to cut out. I actually can cut out 2 at a time, and they work really, really well. All right, thank you all so very much for being live with me tonight. And if you're watching on replay, thank you for your time. And like I said, next week's video will either be a pre-recorded one that I will post at 7 o'clock on Thursday, but I'm really hopeful that I will maybe be able to be live with you all on Wednesday night instead. And most of you know I don't do that often. It's usually always Thursday, but I prefer to be live if possible because it's just, I don't know, a better experience for me to have all of you there with me while I'm stamping and creating. All right. Thank you all again so very much. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will make sure I share my updates on the girls when I know more of what happens there. And thank you all so very much. All right, everyone. Have a great weekend.